sure who I need to talk
Okay,
to.
well, let me know what your concerns are.
Well, let me just start by asking, is a fairly simple question. When might it be advisable for someone to be admitted to a hospital for a 3-day detox, be transferred after that 3 days to a 5 or 6 day regular detox, then be sent home for a few weeks before trying to get into rehab?
That's pretty much the protocol. So
To be sent home from detox.
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because once you're detoxed, you're medically stable. So then there shouldn't be an issue with being released from a hospital.
Right, because, it's not like they have access to alcohol anymore.
Yeah, I mean, people will still drink, but it's not necessarily life-threatening at that point.
Oh, okay, so once it's been out of once they've gotten it out of their system, it's been, a week or 10 days, then their drinking is no longer a medical concern.
No, it's not that it's not a medical concern.
It's not dangerous at that point.
It's the urgency of it. So it's not necessitating a hospital stay.
How so?
Because they're not at risk for the complications associated with withdrawal.
Oh, because it's been a few days.
Right.
So if they get sent home for a few weeks and they drink constantly, then it's no longer a concern.
No, I didn't say that.
It's not a medical urgency.
No, I didn't say that either. I said when they're released from detox, that means they're medically stable to leave the hospital.
Why not put them straight into rehab?
That's not how we operate. Because not everybody needs a rehab after that. In fact, the majority
So if they're bad enough off to need a medical detox before a regular detox, and they're asking for help, and they're saying they want to go to rehab, and the psychiatrist is saying, I don't feel comfortable releasing you for any period of time, it's still your protocol to send them home for a few weeks? So
not necessarily.
Not
necessarily.
Well, when is it not?
Again, it all depends on the individual case.
Would you like to hear about my husband's individual case?
No, because I would need to see your husband, and we would have to evaluate your husband.
Okay, well, he is in the hospital right now.
Okay.
And his psychiatrist has put in his recommendation that he be released only to an inpatient rehab program, which is what everyone wants in this situation, except for apparently y'all. Because, see, he's been seeing a psychiatrist for the last couple of years, Dr. Patrick, actually, who used to be over ASAP, is that correct?
She was what's called a clinical consultant.
Okay, so he's been seeing her for the last couple of years, except that he's been complaining pretty much every visit, is my understanding, that the Zoloft is not touching his anxiety. He has been telling her that he's been self-medicating with alcohol. He's told her that extended release Xanax has worked in the past. She says, I don't prescribe extended release Xanax. I might as well prescribe you alcohol. Go home, Google it. You'll see they work the same. Bullshit. Okay? They don't work the same. So anyway, because he wasn't seeing an ASAP psychiatrist, that seems to be the only hang-up with getting him straight into a rehab program where they want him, which is also what his doctor is recommending, which is what he wants, which is what I want, which is what our 3 children want. But y'all are the only ones that are saying, even though there's room for him there,
This is an Army regulation. Okay. So
there is an Army regulation that says that they get sent home if they weren't seeing
the Army regulation
says
that
okay, go ahead.
They need to come through the ASAP for an evaluation, and they need to be seen by our psychiatrist.
But he did go through for an evaluation.
I can't speak to any particular...
No, you need to.
Ma'am, that's confidential. So we can
What?
continue to talk.
I'm
or
talking
we can,
about regulations.
Okay, we can continue to talk, but you're not going to have me release confidential information.
I'm not asking you to release any confidential
All right.
information.
And we're going to keep this
I
simple
know
because
for
I will end this very quickly.
I know for a fact my husband was evaluated here last Thursday when he was put into the BAMC medical detox. He was evaluated.
Okay,
so
then what's the problem if he was evaluated?
Because he doesn't have an ASAP psychiatrist.
Well, if he was evaluated, then he would have had an ASAP psychiatry appointment.
Wouldn't that make sense? They put him in. They said it was dangerous for him to go home, and he had to be put in that day. In fact, they had his command come here and pick him up and take him to BAMC because they wouldn't even let him leave. I'm not going to talk about
specifics, but you might not have all the details correct. So all I'm going to tell you is that the ASAP regulation requires that he come through the ASAP. Any active duty service member has to come through the ASAP.
Why does he have to be released to come back to this particular building? Why can't y'all have...
That is what the Army regulation is.
To be released.
He has to be medically stable in order to go to the residential treatment facility. If he's not medically stable, they shouldn't release him. If he's medically stable, then they can release him and he can come back here.
So if he's still having to take, say, Ativan for his tremors and nausea...
If the physician is releasing him from detox, then he can come back on an outpatient basis. The physician
on an outpatient basis. How does he get inpatient rehab?
He has to be evaluated by the ASAP, and we have to determine that that's the appropriate course of action.
So if he gets released Friday, he has to come home for the weekend and wait until Monday to see someone?
Yes. That he should be stable. If they're releasing him on Friday, he should be stable.
And you think that coming home and him not drinking again all weekend, even though his anxiety has not been treated, his alcoholism has not been treated, his depression has not been treated.
That's what he's getting ready to do, he's getting ready to do treatment.
So, but you think coming home for 2 days and 3 nights is a good idea?
You know, do I wish
Is there another way?
There is not another way. That's how it works.
Tell me your name again.
Kim.
Last name.
Daffrin Baker. I can give you a card if you'd like.
Can you spell it for me?
Yeah, I'll give you my card. That way you can have all my contact.
Can you spell it for me?
Yeah, it's on my card. So then you can have that. You can have all my contact information and my email and my phone number, okay?